A month later, we all will be watching the news to know all about the announcements made in the budget this year. And this is what Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said last month.
I'm not going to play a spoil sport, but it is a matter of truth that the 1st February 24 budget that will be announced will just be a vote on account.
Well, what does this mean? How is vote on account different from an interim budget? Watch this video to know. First, let's understand what usually happens during a budget ahead of Lok Sabha elections. Generally, the current ruling government presents an interim budget or seeks a vote on account instead of presenting the union budget. By doing this, it leaves it to the next government to present the full union budget. Now, what is a vote on account? So, all revenues received by the government by way of taxes, be it direct or indirect, goes to the Consolidated Fund of India or CFI. This is one of the most important accounts because all revenues received goes there and all funds for the most important expenses comes from there. The Constitution of India says that no money can be withdrawn by the government from CFI except under appropriation made by the law. And for this, an appropriation bill has to be passed during the budget process. Also, the government will require permission to spend money as the new financial year starts. This permission is called the vote on account, where the government asks for permission to withdraw money from the CFI. So, vote on account is just an interim permission to spend money, and the full budget is presented by the new government, which includes changes in taxes and government policies. Let's now understand the difference between the interim budget and the vote on account. Vote on account is estimated expenditure that covers essential government expenses that are required before a new government takes charge. Interim budget is also a temporary permission to meet expenses and revenues until a new government is formed. Both need to be passed in the parliament. Hence, many people confuse vote on account with interim budget. However, there are some major differences. Vote on account cannot impact the tax regime, while interim budget can change it. An interim budget also consists of both expenses and revenues, while vote on account just lists the expenses borne by the government. To be passed in the parliament, an interim budget is discussed in Lok Sabha and then passed, but the vote on account can be passed without any discussion. An interim budget is similar to a full budget but with projections of only a few months, while vote on account can be passed only through an interim budget. An interim budget is valid for the entire year, while a vote on account is usually valid only for 2 months. Since independence, that is since 1947, there have been 73 annual budgets, 14 interim budgets and 4 special budgets. The last interim budget was presented in 2019 by then Finance Minister Piyush Goyal. So all in all, what Nirmala Sitharaman has indicated is that the government will only get permission to spend money on required expenses this February and leave it to the new government to present the full budget sometime in July.
So the budget that the government presents will just be able to, or would just be a budget to meet with the expenditure of the government till a new government comes to play. So, and that budget, following the British tradition, is called vote on account. So no spectacular announcements are made at that time. So you may have to wait till after the new government comes in July will be the next full budget, July 2024. So things have to wait till then.
So what are you waiting for? Click on the like button and subscribe to ET Now's YouTube channel to understand more about the budget. I will see you soon with more such interesting explainers.